The habit was so uncomfortable, you know, that thing about you.
In fact, I felt all the time I was looking out of a picture frame. Plus they were clumsy, hot. It bothered me kind of. And you had to make your own habit. And I was not a sewer, and I did not enjoy it. But you got used to it. I mean, we had one of the nicer habits of nuns. We didn't have a big thing like the BVMs was supposed to remind them of a coffin. Ours was simple.
Why did we adopt the habit that we did?
The habit was a way of being faithful to the origins of our community in France in 1650.
Our founder, Father Madai, wanted us to be like the women of the day, and the widows of the day were free to go out among the people.
Our habit was what a 17th century French widow would wear.
And the days that we were founded in 1650, women could only be on the street if they were with their father, their husband, or they were wearing widow's garb.
It made them blend in. They could minister with a variety of persons in a variety of places, places where unmarried women simply could not go. And so it freed them to be present in ways that they wouldn't otherwise be.
To dress like the widow of the day was appropriate for us. But then we began to be very different as time went on.
It's just that we kept it for over 300 years. It became an anachronism.
Our movement from the habit to more contemporary dress was born of that desire to be with others, to be available to others.
Changing the habit was so divisive, so shocking.
I entered at the time where we received a full habit and went through the rituals of the wedding dress. And then almost immediately, we were starting to take off pieces of it until we were in complete contemporary dress.
Skirts, you know, below the knee.
In the beginning, everything was black. Then we could choose brown, gray, or navy blue. Our dressmaker was delighted now that we could have something of other colors.
Brown, black, tan, gray, subdued colors. I hated the subdued colors.
I was actually relieved when we could take the habit off, because in the hospital, anything that's below your waist gets on the floor contaminated. And the rosary beads, you know, they were beautiful. They hung on the side, but that was not good in getting caught on the rails and everything.
The thing I appreciated was anonymity. To be able to go shopping and not be pointed at.
The community said those who wish can change. You can't go back and forth. It really did change the view of religious life for women.
For some people, that was horrible. It was very, very hard.
I think the hardest thing was the reaction of older people. I mean, my family didn't like it because the image was gone. How can you be a nun without wearing that? To them, it was the image.
I remember coming to LA and one sister saying, "Oh, not you too," and I didn't know what she was talking about. I go, "What? She goes, "You changed." I go, I did, and it's okay. We're still good sisters, you know, but it was tough.
I was at the Mount at the time, and the students, the way they reacted, I can remember so well. I was in my classroom, it was a change of classes, and the door was open, and there was a steady stream of students going by the door because they wanted to see what this nun looked like without a habit. So some of the students had a hard time with that, as many Catholics.
Yeah, we went through a lot of rugged times after that.
The habit is something I respect and stood for something and was holy and important in the early days, but as times had changed, it became a barrier.
And some of the things we talked about in the early days was the fact that even the children were afraid of us because of the way we were dressed.
And I could understand this, you know, all this garb isn't speaking to the people.
And it didn't have a meaning to younger people.
I remember a parent saying to me after we came out, "Sister, it's so much easier to talk to you because you look like us."
And when I discovered that it removed some of that barrier, then I felt like it was the right thing to do.
When I became a chaplain, I remember one woman who wasn't Catholic, because we visit all the patients. She said to me she wouldn't have talked to me if I'd been in a habit. And that was interesting, because I think we became more human. They saw us as people and not as nuns.
Wearing clothes is not what makes me a sister of St. Joseph. And so I got rid of the veil and I started just being myself, a sister.
What came about was really looking and examining some of the religious practices that we had that no longer matched the needs as things evolved in society.
I'm grateful that it didn't become a sore point for us in our chapters, that what we wore wasn't the important thing. It was what we did.